Subscribe now and press the bell icon. Never miss an update.
Hi, good morning. So let's start our next theme, that is the internal security, the first theme of QEP 2020-21. So in the coverage of this particular theme will be, so first we are going to discuss the national security, the internal and the external security, the national security doctrine, the environment which is required to frame the national security, the internal threat, the external threat, the challenges we are going to discuss. Next we are going to discuss the left-wing extremism, the origin of left-wing extremism, the drivers of left-wing extremism, the initiatives which the government has taken for the left-wing extremism, the way forward for left-wing extremism, etc. Similarly, just like the left-wing extremism, same dimensions we are going to cover for the northeast insurgency. And from both these left-wing, northeast, border, J&K, approximately एक question आता है. So from mains perspective, internal security, out of the 22 themes which we are going to discuss, internal security का relevance सबसे ज़्यादा है, because there will be direct questions out of the internal security theme. Minimum 4, maximum 6 questions will be there. Then next we have is the terrorism and the organized crime, कैसे resolve करेंगे, causes क्या हैं, international case studies, local case studies discuss करेंगे. cyber security से last to last year 2 questions आए थे, last year 1 question आया था. Then mob lynching से last year questions आए थे, black money, money laundering, etc. and all. So these 9 topics we are going to discuss in this theme of the internal security. Okay, before coming, देखो जितनी भी all the themes which we are going to discuss, my first priority will be to give you the topics which are relevant from mains 2020 perspective. In sense, we are going to do some analysis of the type of questions which UPSC has asked from these themes and the expected 5, 6, 7 questions I will give. So in the QEP basic as well as the QEP advanced sessions, I'm going to share the questions which I am expecting out of these particular themes, for example. But the answer of these particular questions and the sample handouts by the toppers will be provided after prelims course, that is a separate course, that is QEP plus course, जो QEP plus normal वाला course है. So I'm going to give you the expected questions in 2020 mains from this particular theme. So to understand the predicted questions, let's first analyze the questions which UPSC has asked from this particular topic. ठीक है भाई. So in case of the previous questions, we divided the syllabus into 4 components. एक तो linkage between development and spread of extremism, then we have role of external players, cyber security, money laundering, etc. Then the third one is security challenges, border management, linkages between organized crime and terrorism, and the last one we have various security forces and the agency and their mandates. So पहले previous year का analysis करते हैं, how UPSC has changed the type of questions in last 2-3 years. So as you will see that in 2017 they have asked a question from the northeast insurgency, that the northeast has been infested with this insurgency for a very long time. Analyze the factors. So they are asking ki why this insurgency has been continued. Next is, in this question, although they ask the reasons, analyze the major reasons for the survival, but you also have to write the government initiatives to curb this insurgency in the way forward. In 2018, they asked a question from the left-wing extremism, but in this left-wing extremism, they asked a question, that question theme is same, that is still it is left-wing extremism is affecting many parts of the country. दोनों का theme same है. Briefly explain the government of India approach to counter the challenges posed by the left-wing extremism. तो इसमें पहले challenges लिखना है और फिर government initiative लिखना है. इसमें directly challenges पूछ लिया है, reasons पूछ लिया और फिर way forward पूछ लिया. इसका मतलब continuous 2 years they have asked the same question. Similarly, in the third year 2019 they asked a question from the cross-border movement. Is only one of the several security challenges facing the policing of the border of the northeastern region. Examine the various challenges. देखो questions directly आ रहे हैं यहाँ पे. If you will see the first part, linkages between development and the spread of extremism, they are asking a direct question. But direct वाला तो हम solve कर लेंगे. They have asked about the left-wing extremism, they have asked about the northeast exigency, they have asked about the border issue. ये तीनों तो पूछ लिया. Now the expected question which I listed in that PPT also, which we will share, is related to the relationship between development and the relationship between this extremism. This extremism can be LWE, it can be Northeast insurgency, etc. That why, what was the reason of left-wing extremism? So it was the loop-sided development was the reason. And how LWE can be resolved? It can be resolved through the inclusive development. So how development is the cause as well as the reason, cure for this left-wing extremism. So this question we are going to discuss today in the class itself. ये वाला part हम आज discuss करेंगे class में. Next we have is, next type of question is the role of external state, non-state actors, etc. and on money laundering वाले. So earlier if you will see that they were asking a lot of questions. Now 2017 में they asked one question from cyber attack, second mob violence से पूछा. 18 में current affairs का सीधा पूछ लिया, बेन श्री कृष्णा committee के recommendations related to the data security. And 19 में highly factual state specific question पूछा, cyber dome project केरला वाला. Now the expected question from this cyber etc. is that COVID आया, कोविड आने से डिजिटलाइजेशन इंक्रीज हुआ एंड डिजिटलाइजेशन इंक्रीज्ड डिजिटलाइजेशन एंड इट्स इंपैक्ट अपॉन द इंटरनल सिक्योरिटी. सो दिस क्वेश्चन आई एम एक्सपेक्टिंग दिस ईयर रिलेटेड टू द कोरोना एटसेट्रा एंड ऑल. प्लस वन मोर क्वेश्चन आई एम एक्सपेक्टिंग इज, ये जो 16 में आया था ना सोशल मीडिया वाला, सो अगेन आई एम एक्सपेक्टिंग कि 2020 में 2 questions will be there. One is related to increased digitalization and its impact upon the internal security. And the second one will be related to the second one will be related to this social media. ठीक है. Then we have 2000 and ये 2 questions I'm expecting from this topic. Then we have security challenges and their border management etc. इस पे migration पे you can expect a question. Although पूछा है उसने migration पे, but still you can expect a question on the migration in this particular topic. So migration यहाँ पे पढ़ लेना आप, migration का impact plus India's complacency towards its neighborhood, which has created the internal security challenges. Be it take the case of Nepal, take the case of Pakistan, take the case of China. So how this complacency has creating a challenge to the integrity and the sovereignty of the country. So this type of question I'm expecting from this topic. And the last we have various security forces and the agencies and their mandates and all. इससे related I'm expecting some current affairs का question, Chief of Defense से पूछ लिया या फिर FATF से पूछ लिया etc. and all. So these are the type of question which I am expecting, or your preparation should also be aligned in this particular way only. Question और topic centric में आपको थोड़ा सा focus करना है. चलते हैं PPT पे वापस. ठीक है. So this one is assessing your readiness. ये question हम class में discuss करेंगे. Left wing extremism is showing a downward trend, but still it affects many parts of the country. Briefly explain the government of India's approach to counter this challenge. So 2 question discuss करने वाले हैं हम. First one is this one question and national security doctrine वाला question discuss करेंगे. और ये this northeast वाला भी discuss करेंगे. So these are the expected questions in this year is, paradoxically development has, आप अपने homework में लिख लेना इन questions को, try to solve these questions, try to write the answers. Paradoxically development has served as both the cause for the rise of the left-wing extremism and also as the solution. Then the next one is elucidate the growing challenges and the opportunities in maintaining the internal security of India due to increased digitalization amid the recent COVID-19 pandemic. Infodemic. एक कीवर्ड लिख लो भाई. Infodemic. Too much of information which is available in the form of pandemic is regarded as the infodemic. Last में keywords discuss कराऊंगा, वहाँ पे शायद आएगा, नहीं आएगा तो अभी के लिए लिख लो infodemic. Then social media पे एक question I'm expecting. Then complacency of India in enhancing its relationship with the neighboring countries has posed serious challenge to the integrity and sovereignty of India. Analyze the above statement. Then Chief of Defence Staff you can expect a question. And the role of various politico-administrative elements in the internal security architecture of India. ये भी relevant है because internal architecture change किया है अभी recently, a lot of changes has been done. Then we have FATF वाला question आएगा, and while some argue that the terrorism and organized crime must be differentiated, others contended that they both go hand in hand and hence must be understood and battled together. In light of the above statement, enumerate the links and differences between the terrorism and the organized crime. Directly question है syllabus में से, but yeah, these type of questions I'm expecting this year. एटलीस्ट हमें ना 50-60% क्वेश्चंस डायरेक्ट मिल जाना चाहिए इंटरनल सिक्योरिटी में. अगर डायरेक्टली मिल गया सो हमारे 5-6 मार्क्स एक्स्ट्रा इंक्रीज हो जाएंगे, बिकॉज 2 क्वेश्चन मिलेंगे 15 मार्कर में, सो 2 मार्क्स वहां पे एक्स्ट्रा, और 1 क्वेश्चन हमारा नॉर्मल. 5-6 क्वेश्चन हमें इंक्रीज करना पड़ेगा. चलो चलते हैं टॉपिक पे. व्हाट इज नेशनल सिक्योरिटी एंड ऑल. सो टू अंडरस्टैंड द नेशनल सिक्योरिटी, फर्स्ट यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड द डेफिनेशन ऑफ द नेशनल सिक्योरिटी. उससे पहले आपको पढ़ना पड़ेगा दैट द whenever we are reading the national security, the basic source, which source you need to refer for national security. So basic source for national to cover the national security is very relevant. It is क्राइम पेट्रोल के सारे एपिसोड्स देख लो भाई. वंस यू विल अंडरस्टैंड एंड क्रैम ऑल, रब कर देते जोक्स अपार्ट, वंस यू विल अंडरस्टैंड एंड क्रैम ऑल द एपिसोड्स ऑफ क्राइम पेट्रोल, समझ लो इंटरनल सिक्योरिटी वाला टॉपिक आपका फिनिश हो गया है. एनीवेज, कमिंग बैक टू दिस नेशनल सिक्योरिटी इज, यू मस्ट बी हैविंग द हैंडआउट्स. सो नेशनल सिक्योरिटी इज प्रोटेक्शन ऑफ नेशन as well as protection of citizens from multi-dimensional threats and coercion. Now what you need to protect for a nation is both tangible as well as intangible things, like territory of that particular nation or country, assets of that particular country. Assets can be economic assets, physical assets and all. Ideologies of that particular nation, because nation as a concept is having its backbone with respect to the ideology. For example, take the case of India. In case of India, the ideology of India is democracy होना चाहिए, pluralism होना चाहिए, rule of law होना चाहिए, diversity होना चाहिए, गौ रक्षा होना चाहिए. Anyways, last वाले को लिखना नहीं है. So this is the ideology. Now left wing extremism is a threat to this particular ideology. So you need to protect the ideology also. So territory, assets, ideologies, interest, various institutions, this you need to protect in national security, plus its citizens as well. When we say citizens, it means both the residents also as well as the NRIs also. So वंदे भारत इनिशिएटिव लेके आया था, वेरियस इवैक्यूएशन स्कीम्स किया हैं उसमें अरब कंट्रीज में एंड ऑल दिस. सो नेशनल सिक्योरिटी इज प्रोटेक्शन ऑफ नेशन एंड सिटीजन्स फ्रॉम मल्टी डायमेंशनल थ्रेट्स एंड कोवर्जन्स. With respect to nation, it includes territory, assets, ideology, interest and institutions. With respect to the citizens, it includes the residents as well as the NRI. Now what are the tools that we have in hand for this implementation or ensuring this national security is, first one is the military power should be there. I'll explain these 4 tools with example. So the recent जो China के साथ में incident हुआ है, in case of the recent Chinese incident, what we can say is limited military power we used in the Galwan Valley that we can use. In terms of the economic power, what we can do is FDI that is coming from China, we can partially decrease it. FII which is coming from China, we can partially decrease it. Then also we can say boycotting the Chinese goods. This is my personal request also, that I request you guys to boycott the Chinese goods. At least this is the minimum which we can do. मैंने भी किया है. We are also trying at the ISF, all of us are trying. जैसे ही गलवान इंसिडेंट हुआ, मैंने मोटरोला का फ़ोन फेंक दिया और कार्बन मोबाइल परचेज करके आया मैं, माइक्रोमैक्स भी लेके आया मैं. एंड जोक्स अपार्ट, बट या दैट इज़ ट्रू दैट आई स्टॉप्ड यूजिंग दैट माइक्रो मोटरोला फ़ोन. वो मोटरोला के फ़ोन में मुझे वो आईज थोड़ा छोटा छोटा दिख रहा था मेरा, सो आई स्टॉप्ड यूजिंग इट. Anyways, so the in terms of the economic power, I explain you FDI decrease करेंगे, FII decrease करेंगे, then we have boycotting of the Chinese goods can be done. Then the third major tool is the political power to ensure the national security. So political power कैसे होगा? Stability of government should be there. Then quality of political leadership should be there. Then all the political parties, they should have a united front. Opposition होगा, party in power होगा. All of them should come up in a united front against whenever the country is facing a threat to the national security. So political power में, for example, recently I think so, after this Galwana Valley incident, then the Congress party also came up, and then they also extended their support to the present government, although they don't need it, but still they extended their support. The present political party of the BJP government, I love the approach of the present BJP party. Thoda sa, give me just 2 minutes, okay? So why I like them is they have done such a good thing for the Indian economy, or for India as a country. देखो migrant वाला problem आया. Understand the approach of the government. Such a big hurt they have. So migrant problem आया. So migrant तो चला ही जाना था ना, अपने आप walk करके चला जाता, वो चला गया, not an issue. The major problem was they were having some livelihood in their urban areas. When they shifted from urban area to their respective hometowns, rural areas, now the problem was livelihood कहाँ से आएगा? So because the government failed to provide the livelihood, they distributed the LED. At least entertainment तो हो ही जाएगा. अब problem था कि LED के लिए तो घर चाहिए, अब घर भी नहीं था. So they started putting LEDs on the trees. देखा था क्या वो फोटो बिहार के अंदर? That the present government has distributed LEDs, सब tree व्री पे लगा हुआ है, etc. and all this करके. Anyways, jokes apart, हाँ, one more thing I want to add, controversial हो जाएगा थोड़ा, कर दें क्या? But I don't like Congress, that is so true. I gave my vote to BJP government. छोड़ो, no, नहीं. Next is the diplomatic power that we have. Is in case of the diplomatic power, what you can do is that signing, India becoming a member of Quad, for example, we have. On the one side, India also becoming a member of the SCO on the other side, Quad on this particular side, then J on this particular side, RIC on this particular side. So using your diplomatic power, for example, we used our diplomatic power when we abolished this Article 370 wala, of Jammu and Kashmir. So diplomatic power can be used. So these are the various tools through which we can ensure our national security. इसको draw कर लो. Next in the handouts is the core parameters. Next is the core parameters of national security. So 3 core parameters are there. That is the unity. Unity in the sense, whatever the issues which are internally coming, they needs to be resolved in a peaceful manner. So if we are facing the problem of Jammu and Kashmir, left-wing extremism, northeast insurgency, communal rights, caste conflicts, mob lynching, etc., all of them should be resolved in a equitable and prosperous and you know, in a peaceful resolution of all these internal conflicts. Then after this particular thing, the second core parameter of national security is integrity. Integrity means achieving a secure neighborhood, or securing an securing or achieving a secure neighborhood. For example, Pakistan, China, Nepal, etc. and all. So take the case of CPEC. So CPEC is when we are saying that the territorial integrity, India is not supporting CPEC, although economically it will help India to increase our economic development in the mountainous region of Jammu and Kashmir. But because it is in violation of India's sovereign, India's territorial integrity, India has decided to criticize this CPEC. And then the third major core parameter is sovereignty. In case of sovereignty is protecting India's national sovereignty. Because recently UPSC has also started asking questions from definitions. एक बार फ्रेटर्निटी का क्वेश्चन पूछा था उसने, देन सॉवरेनिटी का क्वेश्चन पूछा है, जस्टिस का क्वेश्चन पूछा है. लास्ट ईयर आई थिंक दे आस्क्ड अ क्वेश्चन रिलेटेड टू सेक्युलरिज्म, and they wanted to compare you the secularism of India versus other countries. So these different type of definitions, preamble की definitions को अच्छे से पढ़ लेना. One question you can expect. This year I'm expecting a question from the fraternity or maybe sovereignty. So fraternity और sovereignty को अच्छे से पढ़ लेना. Sovereignty की definition मैं आपको लिखवा रहा हूँ. Remaining other things you just need to Google out and make your own notes. So sovereignty refers to the supreme. Sovereignty refers to the supreme, absolute and unconditional power and right of an independent state to regulate its internal affairs without foreign interference. ठीक है, ये हुआ नेशनल सिक्योरिटी का बेसिक्स. Next is the factors which are affecting India's national security environment. Now, because the source of threats is different for different countries, because the source is different, so environment will be different, and because the environment will be different, so how we are going to deal with the national security threats will be different. So this national security environment varies from one country to the second country. In case of India, these are the factors which are affecting India's national security environment. ये national security doctrine क्या क्या affect करता है is very relevant from this year. इसको अच्छे से डिटेल में इसीलिए पढ़ा रहा हूँ. So the first one is the historical legacy. So in case of this historical legacy we have, for example, China हुआ, Pakistan हुआ, border issues आ रहे हैं हमारे इसके साथ. So the first thing that you have to do is pause करो, पहले इसको note down कर लो, और उसके बाद में जो मैं बताऊंगा वो value additions, you can do the value additions here and there in this particular diagram. So first give a pause to this particular video and then just jot down all these points in the of this diagram. ठीक है. So in case of the historical legacy we have China, Pakistan, border security issues, the historical war that we have fought, which is actually deciding India's internal security environment and India's internal security threats. The second we have is the geographical attributes. In case of the geographical attributes, because we cannot change our neighbors, and we cannot change our neighbors, it means the border issues cannot be resolved in such a quick manner, because they are also based upon the ideologies and all, people to people relations. So geographical attributes mein first one is northeast insurgents. If we are talking about, so northeast insurgency is because of the porous borders, the difficult terrain we have. India is in the midway of the golden triangle and the golden crescent we have. Plus in the geographical attributes we can also add the climate change. You can say it as a climate change, you can also call it as a climate crisis. Climate change का impact upon the national security is again very relevant topic. वो next slide में discuss कराऊंगा, that how climate change or climate crisis is having a, you know, is a threat multiplier for the internal security. So such type of question you can expect this year, how the climate change is a threat multiplier for the internal security. So geographical attributes we discuss. Then we have the socio-economic circumstances are also deciding the national security and its environment. For example, if the GDP is increasing but the inequality is also increasing, that will give a feeling of the relative deprivation, that one strata of the society, its wealth is increasing or at the cost of the wealth of the other strata of the society. So this will be a bad thing. The next we have is ये हुआ first GDP increase, inequality is also increasing, feeling of relative deprivation is there. Then the second we have is the rural urban divide, if it is increasing, the increasing the difference between the haves and the have nots. Social में शायद कहीं पढ़ा होगा etc. and all. Then next we have socio-economic circumstances. If urban rural divide is increasing, it will lead to a lot of migration also. It will also lead to a lot of farmer agitations. होगा ना, दिल्ली में 1 लाख farmers came etc. and all. So farmer agitation होगा and all. It may also lead to radicalization. The left wing extremism started because of the socio-economic disparities in the Naxalbari area. So radicalization can also take place. Plus, it may also lead to caste agitations. Caste agitations का classic example है my favorite caste, that is, देखो in Haryana we are adopting the principle of fraternity, so I can maybe criticize them, थोड़ा सा criticism नहीं है, I am appreciating them. Jat is a caste who can burn their own house. So in case of the Rohtak Jat agitation, reservation agitation, they burned property approximately 1000 crore. I'm not saying, Prakash Singh committee said, which they said that Jat, they were involved in the agitation in which they burned approximately 1000 crore of the property. वो अलग बात है, गवर्नमेंट ने वापस ले लिया 600 करोड़ के आसपास में, but yes, that is what the socio-economic circumstances and all. Next is the technological development, because there is a fast pace in change of the technology, so obsolete बहुत जल्दी हो जाती है. So technological development is also deciding, rapidly changing. For example, they are posing threat to the financial system, to the military installations that we have. So this technology, dark net हो गया. So technological development is also a threat or deciding the national security environment. Next we have is the ideology. Yeah, ideology, as I told you, that India's ideology is pluralism, rule of law, democracy, diversity, etc. and all. So ideology like communal ideology, majoritarian ideology, the feeling of superior ideology, us versus them की ideology. पढ़ा होगा ना ब्रिटिशर्स के टाइम पे, डिकूज जिसको कहते थे. So us versus them is creating a lot of national security threats. For example, in case of the Northeast, tribals. So one tribal group, one ethnic group versus the second ethnic group, उसमें us versus them आ जाता है. Left wing extremism में tribals versus outsiders का आ जाता है. Then we have religion में आ जाता है, Hindus versus Muslim, Muslim versus somebody else, Hindu versus somebody else. Then in case of Jammu and Kashmir also we have insiders versus outsiders, Pahadi versus non-Pahadi. So this is us versus them का ideology is also a threat or a factor affecting the national security environment. Next we have is the regional development. When I say regional development, it means one region within India versus the other region, as well as India versus other countries also. So India, Bangladesh, etc. and all. So India has been regarded as one of the prosperous countries in South Asia, which is also creating a pull factor for the migration. So that pull factor may create a lot of regional development issues which has been created. Then we have and last we have is the global development is there. So what exactly is the global development? India wants to take a permanent seat in UNSC. Then terrorism, nuclear, in Afghanistan, USA is withdrawing. Then US sanctions on Iran, etc. and all. So these are also some global development which are also affecting the national security environment of India. And the last we have is the political leadership and the governance is there. If the political leadership is strong, it means national security is the threats to national security is decreasing. If the political leadership is weak, एक साइड से आलू और सेकंड साइड से सोना निकलेगा तो फिर प्रॉब्लम होगा. And on the one side from which the chap was putting, or I'm sorry, Rahul ji was putting this potato or aloo, on the other side सोना तो नहीं मिला, समोसा जरूर मिल रहा था वहां से. Recently, one of the Prime Minister of, I think, Australia or New Zealand, she was in a conference call, online telecall with Honorable Prime Minister, and she offered samosas to Indian Prime Minister and all, right? So, अगर Rahul Prime Minister होता, assume, maybe after 500 years, assume करो that if Rahul Gandhi is the Prime Minister, तो उसको थोड़ी समोसा खिलाता कोई, नहीं खिलाता. So, this political leadership also creates trust or mistrust between the citizens and the government, and this trust or mistrust is also one of the factor of the national security environment. So these are the factors which are affecting the national security environment. Then related to the climate I was talking, yes, so this climate change or climate crisis is a threat multiplier. इतने इतने इमोटिव इश्यूज पे टुडे आई एम गिविंग सम ऑफ माय कमेंट्स. ऐसा तुम लोग क्रांतिकारी तो नहीं हो जाओगे ना कि हैशटैग कर देंगे सारा, आइए सबकी सारी ऐप अनइंस्टॉल कर देना. है ही नहीं ना, क्या ही अनइंस्टॉल करोगे, कोई बात नहीं. एनीवेज, सो वार्मिंग वॉर इज देयर, क्लाइमेट चेंज और क्लाइमेट क्राइसिस इज कॉजिंग अ वार्मिंग वॉर. अभी कुछ कुछ पॉइंट्स और बचे यहाँ. ये वाला टची पॉइंट है, व्हेन आई सेड अनइंस्टॉल वाला एंड क्रांतिकारी, वो यहाँ माइग्रेशन पे है. इसके लिए सो फॉर दिस टू अनइंस्टॉल माई एप्स आई विल नॉट शो माई पेपर्स. कागज नहीं दिखाने वाला हूँ मैं, देखो. So in case of the warming war, the first major problem is the livelihood insecurity which they are creating. Especially this warming or climate is causing a lot of or posing a lot of threat to the people whose livelihood is directly related to the agriculture or the allied sectors is there. So for example, left-wing extremism. So forest areas में देर माइनर फॉरेस्ट प्रोड्यूस लेता है, so majority of their income is dependent upon the forest. Climate change होगा तो forest का produce decrease होगा तो direct impact upon the livelihood. Then left wing extremism, north east वाले areas में etc and all. So warming war or climate change is posing a threat for the livelihood insecurity. For example, it will be northeast. Second, warming will also create a lot of problems with respect to the migration. In case of the migration from coastal areas to interior of India, from neighboring countries also to India. Bangladesh for example, density बहुत सारा है, तो वहाँ से migrate होके लोग इंडिया में आ रहे हैं. India is also having limited scarce resources. So scarce resources which ideally needs to be distributed among the rightful holders, that is Indian citizens. So if somebody else is coming and started living in India, it needs to be identified. Listing तो होना ही चाहिए उसका, but कागज नहीं दिखाएंगे. But one thing I can share, of course, that's my family matter, so of course I can share. You cannot become emotional in this particular thing. थोड़ा share करता हूँ. So at present in the dinner table, I'm facing a lot of issue. आप थोड़ा chronology समझो इसकी. I'm sorry, context समझो. You need to understand the context. देखो, when the honorable home minister is saying कि chronology समझो इसकी, तो समझना ही पड़ेगा ना. आपके पास ऑप्शन थोड़ी है कोई. यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड द क्रोनोलॉजी एंड नीड टू एक्सेप्ट इट ऑल्सो. ठीक है. सो अंडरस्टैंड इन द डिनर टेबल द प्रॉब्लम इज माई फादर इज रिटायर्ड फ्रॉम इंडियन आर्मी. सो बिकॉज ही इज रिटायर्ड फ्रॉम द इंडियन आर्मी, इज अ वेरी रैशनल पर्सन. जो ठीक है वो ठीक है, जो गलत है वो गलत है. एंड द सेकेंड वन, आई एम द यंगेस्ट इन माई फैमिली. सो द सेकेंड वन, आई एम फ्रॉम JNU. सो इन केस ऑफ JNU वाला द प्रॉब्लम इज दैट वी आर ऑलवेज राइट. बाकी सब क्या चल रहा है पता नहीं. सर इंडिया GDP is declining, I don't care, I'm always right. ठीक है. The third problem is my brother. Now he is from RSS. Now, understand, diagonally opposite JNU and RSS. Now, in case of RSS, the problem of him, individual I can say, the problem is because he is having the ideology that I don't care whether he is right or wrong. He only comments upon the others, whether the others are right or wrong. It means my father is a rational person. In case of me, I'm always right. In case of my brother, according to him, others are always wrong. He is right or he is wrong, doesn't matter. But others are always wrong is his philosophy. So वहाँ से problem आ जाता है that diagonally opposite to each other. The same problem which right now the country is facing. वो तो just एक analogy दिया था आपको. The major problem which the country is facing, especially in case of the migration, is that the rightful holders are right now facing scarce resources when the new entrants are coming, and this new entry is because of the warming war, because of the climate crisis, is posing a lot of threat. And that becomes the significance of this particular topic from exam perspective. That climate change and migration का relationship can be asked in your exam. तो उसका उस perspective में आप लोग पढ़ लेना. Next we have is the extreme weather events and the disasters which are happening. So it leads to energy insecurity. Nuclear power plants का installation है coastal areas में and all. Critical infrastructure is also there. Then next is the disruption in the food production. So it is posing a threat to the food security, increasing volatility in the prices, pulses mein, food grains mein, etc. Then next we have is sea level rise and the coastal degradation. Water management at the local level, at the regional level, at the global level, that is water security. It is posing a threat to the water security also. Then we have violent competition of the local resources, which led to economic and social instability in the country. And last, one more major threat is, direct threat is related to the health. A lot of new diseases which are coming. So we have public health is also affected due to climate crisis. Plus direct hitting the military bases also. One more you can add is the direct impact upon the military bases. Cyclone aa gaya, etc. and all. So directly impacting the military bases. ठीक है, इसको ड्रॉ कर लो भाई. नेक्स्ट चलते हैं द की एलिमेंट्स ऑफ key elements of national security. So there are military elements and there are non-military elements. So non-military elements को मैंने acronym बनाया है 4E and the chirp of your girlfriend. The present government, the future the present girlfriend, the future girlfriend, the real girlfriend, the notional girlfriend, the virtual girlfriend, the one-sided love. So chirping of your girlfriend and the 4E. जितना याद रहेगा उतना करेंगे. So in case of the military we have border and coastal, and mix between military and the non-military we have is the terrorism. In case of the non-military, first we have is the economic, energy, environment and ethnic, 4Es. Then cyber, health, information, resource and political is the chirp, and then the geostrategic and the food. Handouts में लिखा है, वहाँ से पढ़ना start करते हैं. But what you need to understand is, suppose military and all I'm saying A, and the non-military is B. A without B, it means military without the non-military elements is, लिख लो कहीं, is futile. Is futile because it leads to increase in poverty. Example Pakistan and all, because it leads to increase in poverty and decreases developmental expenditure. Next point is B without A, that is non-military elements without military elements. B without A is unattainable as a single attack will lose all the developmental gains. As a single attack will lose all the developmental gains. जो A without B लिखा था, you can add one more point that it leads to decrease in the social capital. A without B leads to decrease in the social capital, increase in feeling of alienation, decreasing the social contract or diluting the social contract. ठीक है, हैंडआउट्स में आते हैं. विल रीड वन बाय वन. कुछ डिस्कस, वी डोंट नीड टू डिस्कस मच, खुद भी पढ़ सकते हो, बट आई ओनली ब्रीफली डिस्कस all these national security key elements. So the first one is the military or the defense security is there. it is the oldest element of the national security because it influences the human psyche of fear and as well as the protection. So military, because the government is assuring, as I told you, so एक social contract होता ना, in social contract between government and the citizens, in which the citizens are assuring that we'll pay tax etc and all, and the government said we will give you the security, safety and security from both internal threats as well as the external threats. So this is how government is going to fulfill its promises through the military element of the national security. So it influences the human psyche of fear as well as the protection. Second is, it implies the capability of a nation state to defend itself, to deter the military aggression, or to enforce its policy choices by use of the military forces. It associated primarily with managing the physical threats, that is border security, coastal security, terrorism comes under both. Next we have is the economic. In case of the economic, it is the ability to protect a nation's wealth, economic freedom of both state as well as citizens, the economic sector, jobs, income, etc. Then we have securing rapid and inclusive growth, eradicating the poverty, eliminating the income inequality, etc. and all we have. Then after this economic, next we have is the energy. So energy is managing the uninterrupted supply of affordable, reliable and the clean energy, and to ensure security for international and the domestic energy assets also, etc. and all. Then after energy, next we have is the environment and the disaster that we have already discussed. So in case of environmental degradation like deforestation, acid rain, depletion of the protective ozone layer, global warming, etc. and all, consequent extreme weather phenomena and all. So this is related to the environment. Next we have is related to the ethnic. So ethnic security, it is an element of the internal national security, because India is having various ethnic groups. Lot of cleavages are there. All of them are holding their unique identities, which are vulnerable. So how to decrease this vulnerability of their race, religion, caste, origin, etc. and also, it is the responsibility of the government to protect it. Plus these ethnic groups are fighting among each other, so that also needs to be protected. So these are the elements of the national security. Then we have next is the cyber. In case of the cyber security means securing the cyberspace for both government as well as for citizens from attack, damage, misuse as well as the economic espionage by internal and the external threat. It refers to protecting the critical information infrastructure also, because the cyber security is faceless as well as anonymous. Then we have next is related to the health. So in case of the health also we have protecting the health of majority of the of the people who are living in the whose out of pocket expenditure is too much and all. Next is the information. So information asymmetry is there. यहाँ पे डाल सकते हो आप infodemic. So there is information asymmetry between government and citizen, information asymmetry between rich and poor, information asymmetry between one country and the second country. So that needs to be bridged. So reducing the gaps between the information rich and the information poor, because data has been regarded as a public good, as mentioned by the economic survey also. Then we have various resources are there, resource security. So sustenance of a state, self-sustenance of a state, Atmanirbhar state, is based on its capacity to utilize its resources, or land resource, water resource, mineral resource, energy sources, etc. at its best. For example, resources like water are a reason of conflict at both internal level as well as the external level. Internal में कर्नाटका, केरला etc. का water wars चल रहा था. Then we have international में इंडिया और पाकिस्तान का war चल रहा है, अरब इजराइल conflict चल रहा है. So India China water war चल रहा है. So a lot of resource related water wars are happening. Next is related to the political security is there. So political security refers to maintaining stability of the government through diplomacy, negotiations. So how well managed the present government has negotiated in Madhya Pradesh, in Maharashtra, etc. and all. So that is what the political stability is there. And last we have is the geostrategic and the food security is there. So geostrategic security in the sense military corporations, defense purchases, training, etc. So Katsa, Limoa kiya aapne. It also, geostrategic also includes the soft power of the country. And last but the most important is the food security is there. Food is must. Basic minimum need में आता है वो. So poverty and lack of 3 A's: availability, accessibility and absorption. याद रखना, अवेलेबल तो है बट एक्सेसिबल ही नहीं है, अफोर्डेबल ही नहीं है. एक्सेसिबल है बट एब्जॉर्प्शन नहीं है. सो आई एम कंज्यूमिंग the meal 3 times a day, but I am suffering from some disease, so absorption नहीं होगा, so use नहीं होगा. Availability should be there, accessibility should be there, as well as the absorption should be there of the food among the population causes food insecurity. And then we have lack of these things causes insecurity. And then food security involves all those measures that aim to avoid the starvation and provide the nutrition. Because अगर food security नहीं होगा तो the one of the factor input land labor is there, so healthy labor नहीं होगा, so all this is waste. Next चलते हैं. That is the threats to internal security, the threats to the external security, and the common threats which are cutting across both internal as well as the external. Handouts में लिखा हुआ है वैसे. As you must be aware, बहुत बार पढ़ा होगा that Chanakya and Aryabhatta has mentioned we have 4 types of threats: internal, external, internally aided external, externally aided internal. So these are some of the types of threats that India is facing. So first one is the internal security threats. कौन सा लिखा है? Handouts में लिखा है. MHA is responsible for protecting India from the internal threats. So secessionists and the separatist movements which are going on in Jammu and Kashmir. Then we have Northeast insurgency. Punjab में खालिस्तान movement हो रहा है. अभी यहाँ revival हो रहा है. From the getting some support from Canada and all. Next is the left-wing extremism is there. Then the threats by the fringe elements. For example, caste-based threats हैं, religious threats हैं, communal threats हैं, ethnic threats, mob lynching is there, and the cow vigilantism is there. Hindi belt of cow vigilantism. Keywords में दिखाएंगे. And the last we have is the trans-border illegal migration which is taking place from Bangladesh, from Myanmar, etc. and all. So these are the various internal security threats are there. Then we have next is the external security threats which is happening. So the external security threat is, first one is the troubled neighborhood is a major external security threat, because it becomes a hotbed for perpetuation of all these anti-Indian sentiments. So China, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Myanmar, etc. and all. Next is the maritime security and the piracy in the Indian Ocean region is there. Next is the West Asia conflicts which is happening. Saudi Arabia versus Iran continuous, Syria crisis is there, Iraq crisis is there, etc. Yemen crisis which is there. Last we have is outer space militarization which is there. India ने तो peaceful के लिए mission शक्ति किया था, but yeah, outer space militarization is also a major external security threat which right now India is facing. Then after this is there are some threats which are cutting across both internal as well as the external. देखो उनका details already handouts में है, so I'm not explaining you much about all these dimensions. So in case of the terrorism which is cutting across both internal as well as external is, it is state actors are supporting terrorism as well as the non-state actors are also supporting the terrorism. Then we have the organized crime is there, both internal also and external also. In case of the drugs, human trafficking, terrorism financing, money laundering, fake notes, counterfeit currency, etc. and all. And the last we have is the cyber security. In case of cyber security, it is a threat from both internal as well as the external. For critical infrastructure, privacy is there. आज एक keyword पढ़ूंगा, bleeding edge technologies. So these bleeding edge technologies are creating a major problem for privacy. Their cost of privacy वैसे तो free का है, the application is free of cost. For example, normal cam scan is free of cost, is doing really well with respect to the technology wise, but its cost of privacy is very high. Take the case of Truecaller, free है, but the problem is the cost of privacy is too high. That is known as the bleeding edge technology, which has been derived from the leading edge technology. But in case of the bleeding edge technology, the problem is that the cost of privacy is so high in comparison to its benefits or the usage by the people. So privacy will be there, then the data protection is there, then the rumor mongering which is happening, multiple, then the recruits and the radicalization is there, attack, espionage, warfare, terrorism, crime, etc. and all. So these are the internal security threat as well as the external security threat, and the threats cutting across both internal as well as external. इसको draw कर लो एक बार. In the external security threat, I just wanted to highlight ki how India is facing this external security threat in direction wise. So from Pakistan and China, we are facing the issue of the unsettled border is there. Both are nuclear powered, which is also a major threat. Then we have the next one is with respect to the Myanmar, Bangladesh and Nepal. There is a huge refugee influx is there. Then smuggling also is the major problem with Bangladesh, Nepal and all. With respect to the Indian Ocean, this has been regarded as an arena of strategic rivalry. Then piracy, trafficking, terrorism is there. Also, it's why it is a national security threat is because India needs to protect its sea lines of communication. So, sea lanes of communication. Then next is the critical infrastructure along the coastal India. Then with respect to the West Asia is our energy security and the huge diaspora and the remittances. So these are some more dimensions of the external threats to external challenges to the India's national security. नेक्स्ट चलते हैं नेशनल सिक्योरिटी डॉक्ट्रिन पे. हैंडआउट्स हैं आपके पास इसका, बट लेट्स अंडरस्टैंड दैट व्हाट एग्जैक्टली इज ए नेशनल सिक्योरिटी डॉक्ट्रिन and why India has not adopted a national security doctrine and its comparison of India's national security doctrine with its with countries like China and USA. So we will see that in case of China, they don't have a national security doctrine, but they come up with the white papers. And in case of USA, they have their national security doctrine. First we will understand the basics of national security doctrine. क्या होता है, क्या क्या components होते हैं. Then we'll see why India need national security doctrine, and then we will see the challenges why India is not adopting the national security doctrine, and the way forward or the conclusion will be there. So in case of the national security doctrine, it is a stated principle of the government policy. There should not be any ad hocism in terms of national security. So it is a stated principle of government policy specifying the country's vision, objective and action against all the kinds of crisis. Now these crises are वो जो national security के elements देखे थे हमने. So these crises are related to military, related to diplomacy, related to the socio-economic policies of the country or the government we have. So this can be regarded as the definition of the national security doctrine. It is a stated principle of the government policy which specifies the country's vision, objectives and the broad framework of the action to be taken to ensure the security of its people as well as territory against all the kinds of crisis. Next we have is, however, despite being affected by various terrorist groups, India does not have any such strategy or the doctrine yet. Most recently, there has been an uncoordinated nature of response towards the Pulwama attack. We have Uri, Pathankot, etc. and all is there, which demanded actually there should be a national security doctrine should be there, so as we can identify the threats and prioritize our geopolitical interest. Next is the need. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 exam perspective के लिए. So why we need this national security doctrine is, first one is it is a constitutional mandate. It is mentioned because national security is mentioned in Schedule 7 under the Union list. So constitutional mandate is there that you need to safeguard, you need to provide the security to the people of India, to the citizens of India. So it means constitutional mandate is there. Also it increases trust between government and the citizens, that if such type of threat will come, the government is going to adopt this policy. Because the problem is sometimes you are coming up with a surgical strike. So Pulwama में surgical strike लेके आ गए, Uri attack में surgical strike लेके आ गए, 26/11 में क्यों नहीं लेके आए? So this causes an ad hocism. What difference of 26/11 versus Uri or Pulwama attack was there? So this is constitutional mandate is there, increases the trust, plus it also forms up the social contract. It increases trust plus It forms up the social contract. Second one is, it will shift India's national security approach from ad hocism to practical and proactive. Practical and proactive. Next is, strategic approach will be there so that India can define its long-term goals. So strategic culture aega rather than the quick fixation which is right now happening. So strategic culture instead of quick fixation. Next is, fourth one is, the coordinated response and accountability will be fixed. जैसे नेशनल डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट प्लान आया, उसमें responsibility matrix has been created so that if such kind of disaster will come, this person will be responsible. Such type of disaster will come, this body will be responsible, this state will be responsible, local government will be responsible, this department of the administration will be responsible. In case of non-adoption of the national security doctrine, now there is no coordinated response and the accountability fixation, which we witnessed in case of 26/11 and Nuri attack and all. Then we have the deterrence effect is there. So highlighting the non-negotiables. So for example, if India, sometimes India is saying we are going to talk to the Afghanistan ke andar, sometimes they say we are not going to talk to the Taliban. So there is no clear cut between the non-negotiables and the negotiables we have. Then we have consistent policy aega irrespective of the political party. So this is also the reason ki national security doctrine has not been adopted. Because when the same party was in opposition, their ideology was different. When the party is in power, their ideology is different. Similarly, the opposition also, when Congress was in power, different ideology. Now when they are in opposition, so different ideology is there. When they were in power, they wanted to implement GST. Ab aaya to for this particular election, 2019, the Honorable Rahul Gandhi ji. Why I am emphasizing upon G is because the chap has said that Osama ji, I think he said, or Asar Masood ji he said, I think so. Bhej do wapas inko. Anyways, global threats and various global profiling of India, it will help India to define India's role in the world and all. So the different global threats which are happening, so as India's needs and interests grow, India would have to protect its assets in the far off parts of the world. So जैसे वियतनाम के आसपास में we are doing the grilling and the China has said you cannot grill here, so India said कि okay it's okay, we will not grill here. So if we had a national security doctrine, the ad hocism approach which the Congress government had adopted could have been avoided. So all these are the requirements that why we require a national security doctrine. But then comes the question that the challenges. So the first major challenge is the complication. So complicated process of consensus building between the security agencies also and between the political parties also. And the last one is very fast changing geopolitical realities. 2 years back, Nepal was a good 4 years back chalo. Nepal was 5-6 years back, Nepal was a good friend of India. Now the scenario has changed. 2-3 years back, Maldives was not a good friend of India, not a good neighborhood of India. But now Sri Lanka, Maldives, etc., it has improved. Similarly, with respect to the China, on the one side, few years back, झूला झूल रहे थे मोदी जी के साथ, and now at the same time, now these are killing Indian soldiers on Indian soil. So changing geopolitical realities, we cannot have a fixed doctrine in case of fast changing geopolitical realities. But in the conclusion, I think you can say that despite all these challenges, there is an immediate requirement for the government to put together a national security doctrine that should have a political consensus, publicly transparent, and should reflect the complex challenges facing the country. The doctrine must be accompanied by a national security strategy. Doctrine is not enough, an action plan, etc. is also required. That is, the strategy is also required. So that is the national security doctrine and national security topic per se. अब चलते हैं after this first topic that we have seen, national security वाला. ये questions खुद से पढ़ लेना भाई. इसके लिए ना, so that start writing these particular questions and all. So national security finished. Next चलते हैं left wing extremism. चलो. So in case of the left wing extremism, first I'm going to explain you the basics of left wing extremism. Left wing extremism as a concept is deriving its root from the concept of communism. Communism, which says that there is a requirement of classless and stateless society. Now there can be multiple different types of communism. One of the type of communism is the Maoism. So Maoism is a form of communism developed by Mao Zedong, of course the torchbearer of the communism in China. And the famous line of Mao Zedong, that is, the political power grows out of the barrel of the gun. So a communism which has been implemented by Mao Zedong is known as the Maoism. Now what is Naxalism is? Naxalism is deriving its root from the Naxalbari area of West Bengal. This Naxalism was also, it derived its root from the land, and it was also against the power structure. Now this power structure can be government, or this power structure can be the corporates. And the communism is also demanding for the same classless and the stateless society. That is the similarity of the ideology of Naxalism and the communism. But all the Naxalites, we can say, in case of the Maoism, the basic principle is political power grows out of the barrel of the gun. So it is violent in nature. In case of India, Naxalism has been implemented through the philosophy of the Maoism. इसलिए उसको हम Maoism कहते हैं, या Maoist party, या CPI Maoist बनाया हमने, etc. तो ये basic समझ लो that what is Naxalism, what is communism, what is Maoism, etc. and all we have. Next we have is that Mao philosophy or Mao Zedong's philosophy is calling for the protracted people's war. Protracted means long drawn, काफी लंबी लड़ाई लड़नी है आपको. So this protracted people's violent war is having all these dimensions. पहला क्या होता है? There should be armed insurgency should be there. They are calling for the armed insurgency, which is the major, one of the major proponent of, one of the major component of the Maoism philosophy. Armed insurgency will be there. Violent होना चाहिए. The second one is mass mobilization should be there. देखो, whenever they are talking about any of these such kind of activities, there are two components. एक होगा middle class intelligentsia और एक होगा mass mobilization. This middle class intelligentsia will provide the leadership, will provide the legal support, will arrange the finances, etc. and all. And the other one, that is the mass mobilization, that will be responsible for killing, etc. and all. So this mass mobilization is their philosophy, especially in the rural areas. Then we have why this mass mobilization is possible by increasing these 3 Ds. First D is deficit between the government or deficit of governance is there. First D is deficit of governance. The second one is disaffection. Deficit of governance, disaffection and distrust. So ये मोदी जी के 3 Ds 4 Ds के against में आ गया. So mass mobilization by increasing the 3 Ds, that is disaffection, distrust and deficit of governance. The whole purpose is increasing the gulf between government and citizens. They are focusing upon increasing the gulf between government and citizens by extinguishing the government delivery system. By extinguishing the government delivery system. नेक्स्ट कंपोनेंट इज द स्ट्रैटेजिक अलायंसेस बनाता है. स्ट्रैटेजिक अलायंसेस किसके साथ में बनाएगा और स्ट्रैटेजिक यूनाइटेड फ्रंट किसके साथ में बनाएगा? दैट वी हैव they will express solidarity with the other similar groups like Jammu and Kashmir terrorist groups होगा. Then we have European Maoist भी होता है, that Germany etc. Then the Maoist organization in other countries like Nepal, Philippines, Turkey etc. and all. So they will create the strategic alliances or they will extend their support, solidarity with other such organizations. Strategic United Front. नेक्स्ट इज दे विल ऑल्सो क्रिएट दिस फ्रंट ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस. ये लीगल फ्रंट्स होते हैं, ये अर्बन एरियाज में बनते हैं. दे सीम लाइक दैट दे आर द लीगल एंटिटीज और लीगल फ्रंट, सीमिंगली डेमोक्रेटिक मीन्स, seemingly the democratic means. They are front organizations are led by well educated intellectuals with a firm belief in the Maoist insurgency doctrine. जैसे टेररिज्म में आप पढ़ोगे ना, ओवरग्राउंड वर्कर्स उनकी तरह होते हैं. फ्रंट ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस इन द अर्बन एरियाज. And the last one is propaganda and disinformation. Last one is the propaganda and disinformation. So they use propaganda and disinformation against the government institutions as one of the major component of the insurgency doctrine. And all of them will be supported by, ये तो intentionally it is being done by the Maoist cadre and all, plus government itself. Plus it is combined with the failure of the successive governments. Plus it is combined with the failure of the successive governments to address the aspirations of common masses. And general apathy of politicians. So in case historical dimension, if you have to write related to the left-wing extremism, so it was started in 1967. It was violently crushed, but without resolving the main issue. Then in the handouts, coming back to the handouts, so introduction वाला पढ़ लेते हैं. So left-wing extremism, popularly known as the Maoist worldwide and the Naxalites in India. I told you the difference between Naxalites and the Maoism is. Origin is, it has been originated from a single village of West Bengal, that is Naxalbari area. Now it is spread across 11 states, infamously known as the Red Corridor. That is, it extends from the Pashupati to Tirupati. Then in 2004, the Andhra Pradesh Communist Party of India, Maoist Leninist, and the People's War, they merged with the Maoist Communist Center of India, MCCI of Bihar. And in 2004, they created the Communist Party of India, Maoist, CPIM. Illegal under UAFA and all its affiliates also, but yes, in 2004 they got a joint front. Then the objectives of Naxalites we have already discussed: to wage an armed revolution, overthrow the existing democratic state structure with violence as their primary weapon, and usher in their own form of the government. For this they engage in the mass mobilization, rural areas, and building the strategic united fronts. This I also discussed. They stridently take up the issues like displacement of the tribals and corporate exploitations, which I told you, displacement of tribals by the state in the name of the development, so-called development. And the second state structure can be regarded as the corporates, power structure. Human rights violations by the security forces, etc., and often make fantastic claims in this regard, which get reported even by the mainstream media. And the media also covers when the left-wing extremism, they are killing the paramilitary personals and cutting the stomach of a paramilitary person and putting the bomb there, so that they can increase the fatalities in hospital. So the support of left-wing extremism by the so-called general mass has decreased after all these incidents. Then we have the last point under this introduction is the urban movement is vital for Maoist because this is where they have access to funds, weapons and a literate cadre that would form the basis of the leadership to organize the masses in the rural areas. Then Indian Maoist strategy वो हमने पढ़ लिया है. Then we have some facts related to वो जो facts बताया था ना, these facts I will discuss topic wise. So when today we'll discuss left-wing extremism, so उसके facts पढ़ेंगे. जब north east insurgency तो उसके facts पढ़ेंगे. Mob lynching तो उसके facts पढ़ेंगे. So all these facts we have mentioned in the handouts also, but they are topic wise. So left-wing extremism के these facts are, some facts and figures are. Yes, so according to MHA, 90 districts in 11 states are considered as affected by the LWE. There are more than 30 left-wing extremist groups in operation in the country. According to the Global Terrorism Index 2019, CPIM is the deadliest terrorist group in India. Collectively, Maoist and CPIM were responsible for 1/3 of the total attacks and 50% of the total death. And then we have the second last and the third last point, that is incidents of violence and its resultant death have reduced by 25 and 40% respectively since and 2013. इसको याद रख लेना this fact. Next is the geographical spread of LWE violence. देखो affected districts are 90 but affected by violence of LWE is only 60. उसमें से भी 89% of the violence is restricted to 30 districts. So 90 districts are affected, उसमें से 60 are affected by violence of LWE, उसमें से 90% of the violence is happening in 30 districts. These are some facts which you can use in the introduction or maybe in the between the body also. Next is diagram पे आते हैं, that what are the drivers of left-wing extremism in India. So first one is initial cause. What was the initial cause of the left-wing extremism? So the first one is no conclusive ownership rights are there, as we know that the Jal, Jungle and Jameen, 3 J's, they are the emotive issues for tribal people. So Jan, Jungle, Jameen, there is no conclusive ownership right, because in case of India, वो agriculture में पढ़ाएंगे, in case of India we have the Land Registration Act 1908, which is governing all the transactions of land from one entity to the second entity. There is no fixed conclusive ownership right. लिख लो कहीं, there is no conclusive ownership right of land in India. Agriculture में we'll discuss. There is no conclusive ownership right of land in India. The legislation which is deciding is Indian Registration Act 1908. So there is no conclusive ownership, which is also causing a lot of concern. At the starting time also, कभी भी किसी से भी ले लिया and then you can go to the court and all, and in the court you can use your muscle power, money power and all. Next initial cause was related to no digitalization of the land records. Because there was no digitalization, so what they have done is tribal land they have converted into protected forest, और जैसे ही protected forest मिला, so displacement the government can do, plus their livelihood has also been lost, minor forest produce has also been lost. So the government converted tribal lands into protected forest, but they converted forest land, normal forest land, into non-forest area, so that private sector can set up their business. This has created mistrust between the tribals and the government, between the tribals and the corporate sector or the private sector. So no digitalization of land records, plus tribal land has been converted into protected area, so that forced displacement or snatching of the tribal dwellings can take place, and the forest area or forest land has been converted into the non-forest land, plus non-digitalization, overlapping claims आया, titling नहीं हो पाया, etc. and all. नेक्स्ट इज इवेजन ऑफ द लैंड सीलिंग लॉज. वी नो कि इंटरमीडियरीज डिक्रीज हुआ, जमींदारी टेनेंसी रिफॉर्म हुआ, बट नथिंग मच वाज सक्सेसफुल इन द फर्स्ट फेज. लैंड रिफॉर्म्स भी हम वी आर गोइंग टू डिस्कस इन द एग्रीकल्चर सेक्टर. इट वाज इन 4 phases. सो द फर्स्ट फेज विच वाज देयर टिल 1972, उसके बीच में ये सारे रिफॉर्म्स चल रहे थे, जमींदारी, लैंड टेनेंसी एटसेट्रा एंड ऑल. सो नॉट वेरी सक्सेसफुल इन दिस टाइम. But UPSC asked a different question: the success of the land reforms after independence. Anyways, so this was the initial cause. The second we have is the governance deficit is there. So grievance redressal is not there. A lot of under trials cases are there. Police is not sensitive. Sensitivity training has not took place. Next we have is corruption in the welfare schemes in PDS, health, education related is there. Then the low motivation. Even if the government has come up with a lot of schemes, but there is a low motivation at the administration level for implementation of these schemes. Then the trigger happy culture is there. So when you can resolve a problem by killing the person, why we have to think or argue with the person? Goli mara, kaam khatam. So trigger happy culture. Both are responsible for this. Even the government is responsible for this. Take the case of Salwa Judum. In case of Salwa Judum, in Chhattisgarh, non-educated youth, the government equipped them with all the rifles and ammunition, so they become a trigger happy culture. Same is the case with the paramilitary also, and same is very much the case with the left-wing extremists also. So we have a trigger happy culture which has created a governance deficits. अब स्टेट के पास कब जाते हो? when you don't have any other alternative, when you have the option to kill somebody, तो जाओगे नहीं ना. So governance deficit होगा. Next we have is the opportunistic politics are there and the non-implementation of the Forest Right Act. Now they have amended some of the provisions of the Forest Right Act and PESA etc. and all, but at the field level then becomes a major problem. Lack of information asymmetry, as I told you. So there is a lot of governance deficit is there. Minor forest produce and all. Next is the economic opportunities. So first one is, because the land has been converted to the protected forest, they have been relocated without any rehabilitation and resettlement and compensation. So there has been a disruption of the traditional occupation, but there is no alternative opportunities there. Skill level kam hai, alternate opportunity nahi milega. So now they are coming out of their land in which they are generations and generations they were living, but now they are forced to do the menial work in urban areas, bagging etc. Human trafficking mein involved hai. And last we have is the economic in terms of the drivers of is the low investment on, and which leads to the governance trap, or we can also say resource curse. Resource curse होता है that a state or a region in which lot of natural resources are there, which is cursing the state not to develop further. कभी और डिस्कस करेंगे. दैट एग्जाम्पल इज अफ्रीका, एग्जाम्पल छत्तीसगढ़, झारखंड एटसेट्रा एंड ऑल. लॉट ऑफ नेचुरल रिसोर्सेज आर देयर, बट द डेवलपमेंट इज नॉट देयर. देयर हैज बीन अ गवर्नेंस ट्रैप इज देयर. लास्ट वी हैव इज इन सेंसिटिव and non-inclusive approach of the government. So forced eviction of tribals, non-participatory in the undemocratic decision making. Theoretically we have PESA, VESA etc. and all is there, but ground level pe no such thing is happening in majority of the parts of the left-wing extremist affected areas. इसको ड्रॉ कर लो एक बार. When I say ड्रॉ कर लो, करना है वो, ठीक है. ऐसा नहीं है कि छोड़ दो, ठीक है लिख ही लेंगे सर. मतलब मेरा काम तो है बताने का, नहीं करना तो मत करो. So these are the 11 left-wing extremist affected states that we have. So यहाँ से यहाँ तक. And then the new tri-junction which is coming, MMT. 2 tri-junctions are coming, MMT and KKT. Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh and MMC, sorry. Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh, this area. And Kerala, Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, this area. Tri-junction. Why they are very coming to the tri-junction area and all? 2-3 reasons है which you guys know. First one is the एक तो demand और एक supply. First major problem is because police is a state subject, so they can easily move from one state to other state to all the state, etc. Because police goes by the rule, and as according to the rule, up to a certain extent hot pursuit is allowed. उसके बाद नहीं होता. Coordination issues and all will be there. So first one is the coordination issues by the police. The second major is the developmental deficit is there in such regions. If there is a state boundary, if you will also see that there will be a developmental deficit in this particular area. Road नहीं होगा, connectivity नहीं होगा, mobile tower नहीं आएगा, etc. and all. So these are the two major reasons because of which now they are shifting towards the tri-junction areas. Next is the Maoist footprint. कहाँ कहाँ at present है, कहाँ कहाँ नया आ रहा है. So in case of the north, usually it is in the urban areas. For example, in UP, Uttarakhand we have, Delhi we have, Haryana, etc. and all is there. In case of the northeastern region, there are 5 threats which are culminating in northeast. First one is left-wing extremism, northeast insurgency, border security, terrorism and the organized crime. So they have created a strategic united front with extremist groups, for example in Assam, Manipur, Nagaland, within and cross border also. In case of south, we have, as I told you, KKT में नया बन रहा है. So this is the new tri-junction, Kerala, Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. In Kerala, Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, within the interiors of the state, they have a traditional strongholds. Next is in terms of the central and western part is, so Maharashtra, MP, Chhattisgarh, MMC, as I told you, is a new tri-junction. In Gadchiroli district of Maharashtra to Balaghat district of the Madhya Pradesh, it is a traditional stronghold. Odisha भी लिख लेना. And last is the proposed CPI. पुराना था, successful नहीं हुआ, but yeah, they proposed Golden Corridor, that is from Pune to Ahmedabad. From Pune to Ahmedabad. And cutting across all this is, they have some international presence also. LET, ISI, we have groups from the France, Turkey, Philippines, Nepal, Germany. They also have the digital presence through social media. And the last we have is, they have strong nexus between the corporates and the politicians. पैसा चाहिए ना? So huge stakes in illegal mining of corporates, of politicians, poppy cultivation is there, extortion is there, kidnapping is there, and all. So this is what the Maoist footprint right now in India, and how it is increasing in the new areas or decreasing in the new areas. वो जो question आया था ना, that LWE is increasing or LWE is decreasing. We can draw this particular diagram. छोटा सा diagram बनेगा, micro diagram बनाना है इसका. So you can fetch extra 2 marks. Any question related to LWE, we can draw this diagram. LWE and development, or development and LWE का relation आया, we can draw this particular diagram. So Maoist footprint, this particular diagram we can draw in any question related to LWE. ये भले this question, this diagram might be, it will not be useful to you, but this particular diagram you can draw anywhere, any question related to the LWE. Draw कर लो इसको. This one I just told you that the new LWE areas which are coming, this one as well as this one. KKT and MMC, याद रखना. पूछ लेंगे वैसे. This is my common habit that maybe in the theme of agriculture I'll ask you, tell me क्या क्या था. Next is the government initiatives for the left-wing extremism states. लिखा हुआ है handouts में, वहीं से पढ़ लेना. Government of India approach for the LWEs. So with respect to, however, the central government closely monitors, so there are some initiatives of the central government is there. So I just clubbed together all this in this particular diagram is related to the institutional measures ये हैं, physical infrastructure में ये है, social infrastructure में ये हैं, and the other miscellaneous measures में these are the initiatives. Otherwise I have listed all these initiatives of the government in the LWE affected states is very well mentioned in the handouts. वहीं से पढ़ लेना. Nothing much to discuss about. Majority of the things you just need to cram. But direct question पूछ लेता है initiatives में. So at least इतना diagram का knowledge तो होना ही चाहिए. ठीक है. Then we have this question. This question you need to write. Paradoxically, development has served as both cause for the rise of left-wing extremism and also a solution to it. इसको लिखना पड़ेगा. Pause करो. मुझे you have 15 minutes to write this answer, but now because we have covered this particular topic of LWE, I suggest you to write this particular answer, that how development has served as both a cause for the rise of LWE and also a solution to it. कोशिश करना 1-to-1 डायग्राम बना पाओ. Just try. There's a lot of electricity issue in my village. ठीक है, आंसर देखें, लिख लिया, good. So this is the type of diagram which I was expecting. You can write in point format, you can draw this particular diagram, depends upon the individual approaches. So the distorted development is the cause or fuel the left-wing extremism, and the left-wing extremism can be resolved via the inclusive development. The first reason or the first example of the distorted development was developmental displacement and land alienation without rehabilitation and resettlement and compensation. For example, or for the purpose of mining, setting up of the heavy industries. So when Nehru said that public sector undertaking or big PSUs are the modern day temples, it demanded for the sacrifice of the tribal people or the rural areas, that you should sacrifice for the development of the country. तब से start हुआ था, अब तक sacrifice चल रहा है. That because of this particular thing, now the problem is they have been displaced and alienated without any R&R. Now with this led to the problem of tribal dwellings and land rights has been seized, and the tribal land has been converted to the protected to the reserved forest, and there were forced evictions. And there were forced eviction. How the inclusive development can resolve this problem of developmental displacement and land alienation without NRRs? Effective implementation of PESA and Forest Right Act and Land Acquisition Act with credible R&R and compensation, that is no land alienation without the approval of Gram Sabha, and well devised R&R and compensation. Next reason was siphoning off the benefits. देखो questions को समझो, unless and until you understand the context, chronology, unless and until you understand the concept that why I am focusing upon these topics, because these are the expected topics. Basics they have covered. Now if next time they will ask a question on the LWE, the question will be relatively different from the questions they have asked. So this development and LWE relationship question they can ask. So the second reason was the siphoning of the benefits from the natural resources. For example, timber, bamboo, minerals, etc. and all in Odisha, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh for coal, uranium, iron, bauxite, etc. and all. Then forest land has been converted to the non-forest. Then land for use by the private companies acquired in the name of the public purpose. Outsiders, to whom they called DQs. So government acquired the land in the name of public purpose and ultimately being transferred to the private companies and being sold at the very high prices. So all this has been the siphoning of the benefits from the natural resources. You can call it as the demonetization of land. That the private sector got a lot of benefits, likhna nahi exam mein, but it was only the rural area or the tribal people who faced or who sacrificed all their natural resources at the name of the development. How this can be resolved by the inclusive development is tribals can be regarded as a partners in the developmental benefits. The government has taken some steps, like district mineral fund has been created, then the employment opportunities in the same private sector can be provided, CSR spending can be there, shareholding can be given to the local population. Third is the environmental degradation and the health risk. So unscientific way of exploitation of the natural resources by both private sector as well as by the PSUs also. How it can be resolved is by sustainable development. By sustainable development, that is small sized water harvesting structures banao rather than the big dams. Plus you can also provide, ek do aur points hai yahan likhna hai. You can also provide the health packages. You can provide the health packages. Health risk hai na? So to decrease the health risk, they can provide the health packages. You know, for such type of disease, you can go to the private hospital. The cost will be borne by the private sector or maybe the government sector, whoever has procured the land. So health packages plus polluter's pay principle. Health packages plus polluter's pay principle. Plus government can focus upon the circular economy. Ensuring circular economy. It means less wastage should be there so that environmental degradation can be contained. Next is destruction of traditional source of livelihood like artisanship, handicraft, farming. They were forced to beg, do menial jobs, migration, trafficking of tribal women, etc. Now how this can be stopped by the inclusive growth is promotion of the minor forest produce. Now this minor forest produce can be sold through the e-commerce. So one Dhan scheme is there, One Bandhu Kalyan Yojana is there, tribal huts is there, government has come up with MSP for minor forest produce. Market linkage schemes can be there, and this livelihood should be the major focus. Livelihood should be the major focus. So e-commerce में Fab India लेके आया है. 5,000 4,000 की ड्रेस क्या सेल करता है Fab India. Last we have is example of the distorted development which fueled left-wing extremism was extreme poverty, hunger, and the overall underdevelopment, which can be resolved through the socio-economic development of this particular region. So education hoga, health hoga, connectivity hoga, infrastructure hoga, skill development, SHGs and all. So for example, there is a goal scheme for skill development. Goal scheme of Facebook. Goal scheme of Facebook is there. So all these things can resolve the left-wing extremism by focusing upon the development. By focusing upon the development. Then we have the way forward. Before the way forward, there are 2-3 case studies जो लिखा नहीं है इसमें. देखो, I have to use a permutation and combination of a number of things. देखो, for this QEP batch, previous कुछ batches में the videos were लिखना. This time you must be aware some of my background. Now this time I'm going to ensure that whoever is leaking all these videos will not be able to give this exam. 100% I'm going to file some FIRs for this particular thing. I'm going to charge more than 1 CR for the IPR loss. तो देख लेना भाई. Because behave like a student यार. फीस नहीं है, कुछ नहीं है, तो आप नॉन अवेलेबिलिटी ऑफ द फंड्स का सर्टिफिकेट दो ऑफिस में. वी विल गिव यू सम सब्सिडी. But I will not allow anybody to make some money out of the hard work which with me and my team we are putting a lot of efforts at. No, I am going to sue you for 1 crore to the individual person for the IPR loss. So for all these course which we are starting, अभी बोला है मैंने legal team को, they are coming up with a legal agreement. which we are going to sign with all of you, that in case there will be the IPR infringement or the screen recording or something is going to happen at your end, we are going to file FIR this year. ये नहीं चलने वाला है. So why is the problem is, I can share the PPTs, that can save you time. But the problem is we are getting the emails from the student कि sir वो साइंस एंड टेक वाला लेक्चर आपका एक लीक हो गया है एटसेट्रा एंड ऑल दिस करके. तो ऑल द हार्ड वर्क्स विच आई एम पुटिंग एंड यू आर ऑल्सो पुटिंग एंड जोटिंग डाउन ऑल दिस थिंग्स और शेयरिंग द पीपीटीज, वो सब वेस्ट हो जाएगा. सो वाई आई एम नॉट शेयरिंग द पीपीटीज इज वाई फ्यू थिंग्स आई डिक्टेट दे के और सीधा दे सकते हैं ना, इज बिकॉज सो दैट सम एक्स्ट्रा एज शुड बी देयर टू द गाय हु इज लिसनिंग टू ऑल दीज वीडियोज. कुछ तो एक्स्ट्रा एज मिलना चाहिए, अदरवाइज तो मैं यहीं दे देता ऑल दिस केस स्टडी. लिखो 3 केस स्टडीज हैं. 3 case studies are there. The first one is Andhra model. Andhra model. So it's a mixture of security. Andhra model, mixture of security, that is Greyhounds, Greyhounds combat forces, comma, mix of security, comma, socio-economic development, socio-economic development, bracket में लिखो winning hearts and minds, approach of winning hearts and minds, and third one is the political approach, and the third one is the political approach, bracket में लिखो, that is talks and negotiations, talks and negotiations. So ये हुआ आंध्रा मॉडल. Next is the Chhattisgarh model. The next case study is the Chhattisgarh model. So Cobra forces on the lines of Greyhounds. So these Cobra forces, they built the roads and telephone networks. They built the roads and the telephone networks in the difficult terrains of Dantewada. In the difficult terrains of Dantewada. And this improved road connectivity is the game changer. So in Chhattisgarh, they focused upon the connectivity, telephone connectivity, road connectivity by the security forces. And the last one is the Jharkhand government. Jharkhand government, they also set up a special force of the Jharkhand Jaguars. Jharkhand Jaguar. देखो connectivity is in the border areas or in this far flung areas is very critical. It leads to very fast deployment, और deployment होगा तो connect होगा. Government initiatives, PDS, etc. and all can be available. Next is LWE, the way forward given by the Prime Minister is Samadhan. उसको cram कर लेना है. Smart leadership should be there, aggressive strategy should be there, motivation and training of the security forces should be there, actionable intelligence should be there, dashboard based KPI and the KRA, harnessing the technology should be there, action plan for each theater, whatever multiple theaters that are happening, so there should be action plan for each theater. And last one is no access to financing. Financing को block कर दोगे तो majority of the problems ऊपर से वाले resolve हो जाएंगे. It's all about money. So these are the 3 case studies. I'm not sure whether we discuss case studies कहाँ लिखना होता, but yes, if this is the answer copy, यहाँ side box बना के आपको case study लिखना है. Best models, ये case studies, and then you can mention Andhra this, Chhattisgarh this, Jharkhand this and all. ये next class में पूछने वाला हूँ मैं. Before coming to the keywords, first I want to discuss that question which was pending. Yes. LWE का एक question, one question of LWE is pending. Anyways, we'll discuss next time then, after the break. Okay, next we have is keywords. Next is the keywords. So the first keyword is the trophy attacks. Trophy attacks is to increase the attention or to mileage of that particular thing. So for example, in case of the LWE, the trophy attack can be killing of the security personnel, killing of the political leaders. In case of the terrorism, Pulwama attack, 26/11, Uri. In case of the Al-Qaeda, 9/11 is the example of the trophy attacks. In case of the Northeast, killing the leader of the other tribal group, other ethnic group, can be regarded as the trophy attacks and all. So this trophy attack you can use. Next is the early childhood indoctrination. So it is very difficult to break this indoctrination because they have garnered this knowledge during the formative years. So we require a strategic de-radicalization to counter the early childhood indoctrination. Then we have the lone wolf attacks is there. So lone wolf attacks, it means individual attacks are there, not associated with one any particular party or something. One example can be वो CA के type में one individual came along with the pistol etc. and all is there, can be the example of the lone wolf attacks. At the cyber level also it's very much easy, the lone wolf attacks. Then the cyber space is being regarded as the fifth domain of warfare. Cyber का question आता ही, I suggest you can write this particular thing, that other than land, water, air and space, cyber is being regarded as the fifth domain of warfare. Then we have the paramilitary panacea. So paramilitary panacea, the government tries, the central government or the state government, after demanding this paramilitary, is trying to fill the vacuum of the developmental deficit by this paramilitary panacea. So paramilitary panacea to fill the vacuum of the either the state police or the developmental vacuum. But it's not sustainable. Paramilitary panacea is not sustainable. Paramilitary panacea should be replaced by the developmental panacea or inclusive developmental panacea. Next is militarization of the digital space. So militarization of dash कर लो इसको यार. Militarization of cyberspace, militarization of digital space, militarization of the internal parts of the country. So anywhere you can use militarization of dash. Next is the trigger happy culture. So this we discussed. Trigger happy culture. Next, jihad is digital jihad. Next is the bleeding edge technology, which I think I explained. In case of the bleeding edge technology, the latest technology is there, but the privacy cost is very high. But the download it is free. So lack of testing is there, lack of consensus is there, etc. Then we have cyber deterrence is there, uneasy, troubled and volatile. Uneasy, troubled and volatile neighborhood. Then we have flashpoints for future conflicts. For example, India-China border, India-Pakistan border, they are the flashpoints for the future conflicts. Anything which has been temporarily paused but not resolved is the example of the flashpoint for the future conflicts. Then we have arena of strategic rivalry. It's an area where rival groups are coming because of the strategic reason. Example is Indian Ocean region, Afghanistan, Africa, Syria, and the race of creation of the vaccine of corona. So this is the example of arena for the strategic rivalry. Next is life versus livelihood challenges. इसमें one thing I want to add is, I am not sure whether we discussed or not, that after prelims with the QEP basic students only, we are going to share some 20 to 25 most important case studies from ethics perspective and their answers and their discussion also. So 2-3 क्लास इसकी करेंगे. I'll take these classes in which we are going to discuss the most important 20 to 25 case studies that will be free of cost available to you guys. अब तो admission ले लिया है, but yeah, as you know that I do some value addition. So these basic student के साथ only, this will not be available to other students. Basic QEP basic, they will have free access to these 20 to 25 case studies की classes. बाकी सबके लिए paid होगा, but yeah, for you guys it is free. But ये हम लेंगे after prelims. So life versus that, such type of questions actually I wanted to solve and I wanted to discuss in the case study. So life versus livelihood challenge, etc. and all with respect to the COVID pandemic, with respect to tobacco, with respect to alcohol can be asked in the ethics wala paper. Next we have is the borderless world is there. Can be used in terms of the cyber security, but also for Bitcoin, for darknet. Then the age of hyper information is there, especially in the time of social media. Infodemic you can use again here. Then we have the threat multiplier, so climate change, space, cyber, they are the examples of the threat multiplier. Then Hindi speaking cow belt, very sparingly I suggest you to use it, but yes, you can use it for the caste crimes, mob lynching, north-south divide. Next is the radical and the revisionist agenda is there for Khalistan, for LWE, for northeast. Then critical geostrategic space, this is for implementing India's foreign policy, Indian Ocean region. Asia is a geostrategic space for USA. Then the key theaters for strategic competition is between any two countries, like in Africa between India and China, in Nepal also. Then we have carrot and stick policy, so try avoid using this carrot and stick policy, उसकी जगह ये new वाला concept use करेंगे. These are the new words which the government is using. Rather than carrot and stick policy, they are saying the socio-economic development and peace negotiations plus proportionate use of force also. So carrot is socio-economic development and peaceful negotiations, and stick is proportionate use of the force. So LWE का जो क्वेश्चन है वो ब्रेक के बाद डिस्कस करते हैं. एंड ठीक है, सो इन दिस पर्टिकुलर टॉपिक वी कवर्ड दिस लोकल लेवल का केस स्टडीज एंड ऑल. इंटरनल सिक्योरिटी ओवरऑल का हम डिस्कस करेंगे, तो ऑल 3 टियर लेवल, बट या नक्सलिज्म वाला लोकल वी डिस्कस. कीवर्ड्स थीम वाइज वी गेव, फैक्टर्स वी गेव रिलेटेड टू द LWE, माइंड मैप एटसेट्रा. ये वीकली जाएगा आपको, मतलब ये बाद में मिलेगा, ये बाद में मिलेगा, दिस वी गेव, ये बाद में मिलेगा, ये बाद में मिलेगा. मे बी आफ्टर एवरी 7 days 10 days एक्सेट्रा एंड ऑल कंपाइलेशन यू विल गेट एट वन गो. ठीक है, नेक्स्ट डिस्कस करते हैं नॉर्थ ईस्ट इंसर्जेंसी एंड द पॉज. इंसर्जेंसी नीड्स टू बी पॉज्ड. ब्रेक के बाद करते हैं यार, ब्रेक के बाद करते हैं.